Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for checking the video out. Today we have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover. Diving right into the first topic, we're talking about Elden Ring, and a new Coliseum update, free DLC has been released, and the details have been revealed. Coming from PlayStation Lifestyle, they say rumors of an Elden Ring Coliseum free update or DLC have been spreading since March, but From Software has finally confirmed brief details and a release date for the content. The best bit is that players won't have to wait long, nor will the content be a paid premium DLC. The free update is actually arriving on December 7th, so that's tomorrow, and they continue by saying the Coliseum update will include various duels and battles that players can take on in the Coliseums. The duels, free-for-alls, and team fights can be tackled as a solo player or together with a companion. The battles will take place in the Limgrave, Caelid, and Lendel Coliseums that have been in the game since its release. Rumors that DLC was coming soon intensified back in October when references to new content were found in the game files of a game update. Other features found in the data mine content included ray tracing and new player customization options, although it's unknown whether these features will be included in the update. More detailed patch notes are expected to be available tomorrow after the content has been released. And so that's the thing with this, is people are thinking that this is not all we're getting with Elden Ring. When it comes to Elden Ring, I mean. A lot of people are thinking that we are going to get a proper DLC expansion announcement during the Game Awards, but they kind of wanted to put this out here as a separate announcement, and I have to say this does make a lot of sense. I have no doubt in my mind that Elden Ring is going to get a full-blown DLC expansion. Again, you look at just how popular the game is, I think that it would be a great way to just keep it as relevant as possible, but From Software also has a track record of including significant DLC with pretty much all of their games, and so I don't think they're going to pass this up with Elden Ring. Now, we don't have confirmation that this announcement's going to happen at the Game Awards, but a lot of people are thinking it's likely. So let me know if this is something you plan to play. Next up, we're talking about The Witcher 3 on PS5. Reading from Push Square, it says the tech wizards at Digital Foundry are back, and this time they've had a chance to go hands-on with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition on PS5. Developer CD Projekt Red has already told us what to expect from the soon-to-release upgrade, which will boast 2 graphical modes and enhanced assets across the board, as well as a range of gameplay additions and improvements. But how is the next-gen version actually holding up? Well, Digital Foundry reckons it's all coming together brilliantly. The publication writes, quote, The Witcher 3 on PS5 and Series X impressed hugely in the 4 hours we played it, and not just in the visual upgrades, which included reworked foliage, 4K textures, and high-quality models throughout. There are also significant quality-of-life improvements, like a revised camera and faster controls for using signs, the magic spells of the Witcher universe. All told, the game truly looks and plays better than ever before. The report goes on into a bit more detail, stating that the upgraded 30 frames per second quality mode, which makes use of ray tracing, has a transformative effect on certain scenes thanks to the greatly improved lighting effects. Meanwhile, the 60 FPS performance mode is described as an excellent alternative. Besides the frame rate, the only difference between the two graphic settings is the inclusion of ray tracing, which isn't available when playing at 60 FPS. Both modes offer all the upgrades, enhanced textures, and assets at a 4K resolution with dynamic scaling, so it's sounding pretty good. Now, I just wanted to let you guys know that this is what Digital Foundry is saying about The Witcher 3 on PlayStation 5. We've been hearing a lot about this, and I think that it's something that is actually pretty highly anticipated, and so it really does sound like it is going to do some really good things on the PS5. So let me know if you're planning to play it. Moving on from that, though, we have some, I think, disappointing news for Monster Hunter Rise on PS5 and PS4. Apparently, these versions, including the Xbox Series versions, will not have a physical release. Reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, it has been confirmed that the Monster Hunter Rise PS5 and PS4 versions will be digital only, meaning that there will be no physical edition of the game. The physical version of the original Nintendo Switch version was released in 2021 and is still available for purchase, so that puts Monster Hunter Rise in a rather strange position. In a tweet, Gamatsu has verified from Capcom that Monster Hunter Rise will only be available as a downloadable purchase on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, and Xbox One. The release date of these versions of the game, again, is January 20th, 2023. And so Yeah, I had to let you guys know about this because, I did see some of you guys talking about this in the comments, debating whether or not you wanted to pick this game up for PS5 or PS4. Some of you guys are worried about some of the trophy requirements, which is completely understandable. But, now at this point, I'm going to ask you, those of you who are interested in Monster Hunter Rise or thinking about picking it up, is this a deal breaker for you? I feel like for some people, this is definitely going to be a deal breaker. And it's pretty strange, right? Like, I just don't know why Capcom wouldn't do a physical release. Monster Hunter is their biggest IP. Why not? Why not? There are going to be people who would absolutely want that. So let me know your thoughts on that. Moving on, we have yet another update on the Game Awards, and this is kind of the opposite of what we talked about yesterday, or an update, I should say, of what we talked about yesterday, where Jeff Keighley made it seem like the show is going to be significantly shorter. And I talked about this. I talked about how I think it's a good thing. And I think a lot of people were thinking this meant it was going to be maybe like an hour and a half at most. But no, it seems like when he talked about the show being shorter, according to Jeff Keighley, significantly shorter is about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. So reading here from Push Square, it says the Game Awards host Jeff Keighley recently revealed this year's show will be significantly shorter after listening to years of feedback. But if you thought that would result in a tight 90-minute event or so, you might be surprised on the evening. In a recent Twitch live stream, Keighley said he thinks, quote, it's probably going to be about a 2.5-hour show, end quote, as opposed to the roughly 3 hours and 15-minute runtime of last year's showcase. While the show's length still appears reliant on dress rehearsals, the host says that it could go longer depending on speeches given by award winners. He does commit to trying to reduce the runtime a little bit, though. Not only is the show a long one, but European viewers are made to stay awake until the early hours of the morning, usually between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. if they want to see everything and find out what game ends up actually winning Game of the Year. So I had to let you guys know about this because I have to admit, I'm a little bit surprised. I thought that when Jeff Keighley said it was going to be a significantly shorter show, I was thinking like an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45 minutes, something along those lines. But, we're still looking at a 2.5-hour show, and he's letting us know it will likely go a little bit longer than that, depending on the speeches. But it is also absurd to think that last year's show clocked in at 3 hours and 15 minutes. I mean, don't get me wrong. That 45-minute cut down is a big difference maker, but it's still a long show, and I actually think some people might be happy about this because I did notice that some people in the comments yesterday were a little bit concerned that, does this mean they're going to cut out like a lot of announcements? Well, fear not, it seems like the show is still going to be a long one with quite a bit of announcements. So let me know your thoughts on that. Next up, we have a pretty significant update to God of War Ragnarok, reading from PlayStation Lifestyle. A new God of War Ragnarok update has added the much anticipated photo mode today, December 5th. While photo mode is the main draw of update 3.0, the long list of patch notes also details fixes such as quest progression blockers, players dropping out of the map, and several instances of crashing. The God of War Ragnarok photo mode update does include many of the tunable settings that were leaked last month, including the funny expressions for different characters, and I've already been seeing people kind of going crazy with that. And they say here that meanwhile, the God of War Ragnarok photo mode update also fixes many other aspects of the game, including features, narrative and story, quests, progression, gameplay, combat, equipment, upgrades, user interface, stability, performance, visual impact, accessibility, and audio. So it's an all-encompassing update, but we did hear about photo mode coming at some point for Ragnarok, and we didn't have to wait too long, luckily. So it's out now. And, there are people who are very passionate about photo modes, especially in games like this. So I'm going to ask you guys, if you already completed Ragnarok and you moved on from it, or if you platinumed it, is this something you're going to go back to play the game for, to try out the photo mode? Let me know down below. Moving to the next topic, though, I think this is a very interesting one that very well could be related to PlayStation. Reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, it says actor David Harbour has revealed that he and Jodie Comer will be starring in a new horror game releasing in 2023. Slated to be the driving mentor in the upcoming Gran Turismo movie, Harbour is best known for his role as Officer Hopper in Stranger Things. So he did an interview with Fan Nation where they asked him if he would ever want to star in a video game. And his response, I think, caught some people off guard. This is what he said, quote, "I actually have one coming out. me and Jody Comer did a video game that'll be coming out, I think it's next year, a horror game, end quote. So the article continues by saying, that said, the actor was tight-lipped on what the new horror game is. With the resurgence of the genre, we have multiple candidates for horror games coming out in 2023. Alan Wake 2, Dead Space Remake, RE4 Remake, and Directive 820, which will continue the Dark Pictures anthology series. There's also Silent Hill F, Stalker 2, and Silent Hill 2 Remake. Now, what's interesting about this is a lot of people were trying to figure out which game is he talking about. We have to understand that he sounds unsure if this game is coming out in 2023. He says, I think it's coming out next year. So we have to keep in mind that he could be talking about a game that's a little bit further away than maybe we're thinking. Some people were thinking it was the Dark Pictures. I see people bringing up Silent Hill, not necessarily remake, of course, but the new Silent Hill game. And some people are also thinking maybe it's one of Hideo Kojima's games. Apparently, he is working on a horror game, and if what we know right now is correct, the horror game is going to be associated with Xbox. Yeah, that's a possibility, but I just get this feeling that whatever it is he's working on with Xbox is a lot further out than maybe people are expecting. So, I don't think he would be saying it would be coming out next year if it was actually a game that's multiple years away, but still we know so little about it. Now, how this could relate to PlayStation is I just want to let people know that there are 2 horror games in development at PlayStation Studios right now that have not been announced yet, but the code names and the studios behind them and the genre have leaked out. So we have one horror game being developed by Firesprite, and it's called Project Heartbreak, and all we know about it is that it's a horror game. The other game is called Project Bates, which is being developed by a new veteran studio called Ballistic Moon that has a partnership with Sony that has yet to be announced, and all signs point to both of these games being AAA. In fact, I think Firesprite's job listing even mentioned the game as AAA. So I just want to point out there that he could be talking about one of these games, but considering they haven't even been announced yet, it's hard to imagine Sony just coming out, announcing a horror game, and that game coming out next year. So, it's really hard to tell which game he's talking about here. It could also just be something completely brand new coming from a studio that we've just didn't expect, but I wanted to share this with you and get your thoughts on it. Moving on to the final topic, though, this is an interesting one. Seems like we are going to get a PlayStation announcement at the Gaming Awards, and that's going to be Horizon Forbidden West DLC. Reading from Insider Gaming, they say popular leaker The Snitch has teased yet another announcement that will be made in the near future. On Twitter, The Snitch posted an image of San Francisco, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles. The image is seemingly a nod to the Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC taking place in these locations. The Burning Shores is mentioned by name a couple of times throughout Horizon Forbidden West. Players who attempt to further explore this area in the game are told to turn back, as it's likely that this is a new location for the DLC. Some players have managed to get a closer look using their Sunwing, which looks like there's a replica of the arched Memorial Bridge near Las Vegas, Nevada, as well as potentially the Hoover Dam. Insider Gaming understands that this new Horizon Forbidden West DLC, Burning Shores, will release in April of 2023. In September, Lance Reddick, the actor behind Silence, said he's working in a session for presumably this Horizon Forbidden West expansion. The now deleted tweet shows Reddick in a short video wearing motion capture dots used to capture facial expressions. So as always, we have to take this with a pinch of salt, but the Snitch has proven to be very reliable. He clearly has access to something on some back end somewhere to be able to see this stuff. And while I don't want to say for sure that this is going to show up at the Game Awards, I mean, considering the timing, it would make a lot of sense. Now, do I think this is the only thing that PlayStation will show up with? No, I don't think so, but it will be a nice little surprise. I mean, obviously, maybe the surprise was kind of ruined because it was leaked out, but I think a lot of people have been waiting for some Horizon DLC. So let me know your thoughts on this. How excited would you be to play some Horizon DLC sometime next year? I also want to mention the fact that it's not coming out till April of next year, apparently. This sounds like it's going to be a pretty big DLC, so let me know your thoughts on that, but that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it informative. Leave it a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, Take care.